Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Chris here, and today is November 29th, 2021. It is a beautiful day here in Michigan. It's about 40 degrees out right now. The sun is out, and I'm out just enjoying the weather, getting my exercise in. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a career comparison between John McEnroe and Mats Wilander. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, I'd like to encourage you to hit the subscribe button down below. That'll keep you guys notified of any time we release additional videos. And also, if you enjoy content like this, then please be sure to share this video with your friends. So the interesting thing about John McEnroe and Mats Wilander is that they played in pretty much the same era. They both finished their career with the same number of Grand Slams. They won 7 Grand Slams each. And they won all of their Grand Slams before the age of 26. So it's fair to say that they were both kind of early bloomers. They were great right from the start. And also they were very consistent about winning these Grand Slams from an early age, so there was very rarely a year that would go by where they weren't winning at least one Grand Slam title. Now we're going to start this comparison off with John McEnroe. He turned pro back in 1977, and his first Grand Slam title would come at the 1979 US Open. McEnroe's final Grand Slam would come at the 1984 US Open, and after that he would kind of struggle a little bit for a few years. He would wind up taking 1986 off to kind of regroup a little bit, and then he would come back to the tour in 1987, and he would have some good results, making the semifinals of Wimbledon, I believe, in 1989. He made the semifinals of the US Open in 1990, and then he would make his final semifinal appearance at a Grand Slam at Wimbledon 1992. So McEnroe had a very, very good career, and he was quite dominant when he was winning the Grand Slams. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to Mats Wilander. So Mats Wilander won his first Grand Slam title in 1982. I believe he was 17 or 18 years old at the time. He would continue to win Grand Slams after this. His next one would come at the 1983 Australian Open, and then he would win the French Open and the Australian Open again. And then in 1988 he would have a mega year, and he would win 3 out of the 4 Grand Slams. Being the Australian Open, the French Open, and the US Open. Now after 1988, Mats Wilander would go through some hard times, and he kind of lost focus a little bit and was never able to really get back to that same level that he'd had before he had won all those Grand Slams. So he was never really back in the winner's circle again, and I think his last semifinal was in 1990 at the Australian Open, but I might have the year wrong on that. So once again, these guys really peak when they're about 24, 25 years old. And then after that, it's kind of downhill for them. I think when you look at two players that are so similar in terms of what they achieved, that you really have to look at the seasons that they had, who had the better season. Now, McEnroe's 1984 season was one of the best of all time. He only lost 3 matches that year. Of course, one being to Lendl in the finals of the French Open, but even so, this season still stands as being one of the very best of all time. Now, Mats Wilander also had a very similar season to this in 1988 when he managed to win 3 out of the 4 Grand Slams, but it is worth mentioning that back when McEnroe had his great season in 1984, the emphasis and the importance of winning the Australian Open was really not there at that time. It would take until the late 80s for the importance of that tournament, the prestige really of that tournament to be there, for the players to be willing to make the trip down to play in Melbourne. And so I wouldn't hold that against McEnroe for not playing the Australian Open in 1984. I wouldn't take anything away from his season because he chose not to do that. I think he still had probably one of the best seasons of all time. So it's a very, very close comparison here. But I think I would end up having to go a little bit more in favor of John McEnroe. I think his wins were just a little bit more impressive, and his 1984 season really is kind of what tides me over for going in his direction. But anyway, I would love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below who you think had the better career. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you at the next one. This is Chris, signing out.